Hey everybody, I'm Drawing Chaos, and I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes going over the top 10 locations for you to start building in Satisfactory. Each one's going to include pros and cons of why you should build there, with a rating out of 5 stars just to tell you exactly where I think it should be and which ones might be the best. But the decision will always come down to you. But I'm running out of time, so let's get on with it. Alright, let's start this off with number 1, which is the Grassy Fields. Grassy Fields are located in the south side of the map, and the easiest way to get to them is when you start a new game. You're going to click the first one, and it's going to put you right in the Grassy Fields. Ideal for first-time pioneers. Now, the Grassy Fields are a great location. I give this location a 3 out of 5 stars. Now, for the pros of the location is it has plenty of open space. Plenty of nodes for anything that you want to build right off the bat. It gives you plenty of biomass that you can just tear down, and the enemies over here aren't too difficult once you get to know what they're like. Now, in terms of the cons, unfortunately, it doesn't have a lot of late game items. So you're not going to be able to get your Caterium, you're not going to be able to get your Bauxite, and unfortunately, when it comes to power, that's going to be difficult as well. Because although there is coal, there's not much water for you to use, so you can utilize coal power. And you're sure as hell not going to get oil over here unless you drag it from the other side of the map. Though you do have 2 different sides that you can choose from. It'll actually be easier to build a power plant over in a different location and bring some wire over here. That's why it's a really good location, but it's also a bad location on the same thing. Kind of a mid-tier one right there. Right in the middle, really good, really bad. But if it's definitely easy and really good to go. Now this next location is, well, it's pretty bad. But it is called the Blue Crater. And the nice thing about this is it does have plenty of oil. So if you wanted to build a power plant over here, that'd be great. But in terms of a starting location, you would have to bring in every single item that you need. Now, if we look at the map, we can tell that if we spawn into the Grassy Fields, we just have to go east over here, and we can head our way into the Blue Crater. Now, this definitely gets a 1 out of 5 stars, because although it is useful to use for power and such, it is a terrible location in terms of a lot of different things. There are high level enemies over here. There sure is a lot of oil, but it's going to be really difficult to build something in here if you're not used to building in this kind of terrain. Traversing everything is a big pain in the butt, and it is just a horrible location overall. Though it does look unique and you could build a base over here utilizing everything that's in this area, I think it is very low on the totem pole of places that you want to make your home. Next up, I want to give you a map that is considered a difficulty spike that most people are not ready for. This one, I kid you not, is a 4 out of 5. This gives you so many good perks. You have every single ore that you can need. Bauxite, Caterium, uranium, oil, all of it. Everything is here. Alright, there's plenty of room to grow. There's plenty of room to build. The look of it, if you like a desaturated version of the game, you do have that. So you can make tons of unique looking things. Downside, everything over here wants to kill you. There's gas, it wants to kill you. Enemies, they want to kill you. Spiders and all that kind of stuff. Having to build in this area. Yeah, everything wants you dead in this area. But if you can get past that, if you are a late game player and want to build in some unique spot and really go for hardcore mode, this is the place for you. Now, this is located on the very far east side of the map. Easiest way to get here is if you're creating a new game, you're going to want to go all the way to the last one where the Dune Desert is, and you're going to want to head south. Now, the Dune Desert is just right over this ridge, and even though it's easy enough to just head south over here, it's not going to be very easy to get into here. And once you get into here, you're going to have to fend off a ton of creatures. So be prepared for that. But if you can withstand the devastatingness of this area, oh, you could thrive because it has such good loot. All right, everybody, and welcome to spot number 4. Now, let's say you're not a tryhard and you want to just have a nice, unique experience at the start of the game. Well, welcome to the Dune Desert. Nice thing about this is you can start right in there and right away, and it is a 4 out of 5 star place. Now, what makes it so great? Well, the pros for it is it has plenty of open areas, so you can build however you want in big open areas without having to worry about it. It also has a lot of good ore to choose from, so a lot of pure nodes scattered about. Not to mention it has almost every single thing you need, and the enemies aren't too difficult. Now for the cons. There's a little bit of water, but there's also a what do you want to call it? An ocean nearby, so it's not the worst thing in the world. There is no oil, though there is oil nearby, so that's not too bad. There's no uranium, and obviously there's no bauxite, because that's mostly towards the middle of the map. But, you know, other than that, it is a really good location. Now, all you gotta do is start a new game and go into it like I showed you before with the other one, and you can hop into it, and it does look magnificent. The scenescapes and all that stuff really come together in this area. So overall, this is a great place to build, and I like to see a lot of people build over here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our halfway point, spot number 5. Now, this one it's a weird one. All right, because the difficulty level is definitely going to be a medium to medium hard. Now, this is definitely a 3 out of 5 location. Reason being is the pros of it, it has a lot of open space, a lot of water, a lot of oil. It looks beautiful. The enemies here are, you know, a bit on the tougher side, but overall, it is great. Now for the downside to it, and there's some big downsides. You have to bring every single thing that you need over here. All your belts, all your stuff. You're going to have to either get a train or a highway in here because there's nothing in here but oil. This is an oil-only space, but it has some of the most beautiful landscape ever and just looks gorgeous. So why is it getting a 3 out of 5 if you have to bring everything over here? Well, I can't emphasize how good it looks. And if you're wanting to build in a spot where you're going to be building in there in a long time, you know, the look of it really plays a huge factor in it. I mean, imagine opening up your base and just looking out and seeing all of this surrounding your area. That almost makes it worth it bringing a belt line in here. I mean, for some people, that makes it worth it, no problem. They're going to do it regardless. Now, in terms of the location, it's very on the north side of the map, like the very top of the map. Now, what you can do, you can spawn in the Dune Desert right over here, and you could head east. You can go around the mountaintop and everything. You can spawn in the northern forest, which is up here in the center, and you can just go straight north. Or you can spawn all the way over here in the Rocky Mountains and then just go northeast. All right, there's a couple different ways that you can go. But getting the items that you need over here, that is going to be its own little pickle in itself. But if you can build it over here, it looks amazing. Now, speaking of the Rocky Desert, this is definitely different than the Dune Desert. Couple reasons, but I give this one a 3.5 out of 5. It leans a little bit more towards 4 than it leans towards 3, but I'll explain. Pros, lot of space, looks great. Also has a lot of base items for you. It has iron, copper, even has caterium, and it's not too far away from coal. And there's also water and plenty of good stuff nearby. There is even a uranium node that's close enough that you can get into nuclear energy pretty soon. Now, in terms of the con, you're going to have to do a trek for some bauxite, which is not too bad. And enemy-wise, enemies are actually kind of like mid-tier over here, so you'll get some good ones and you'll get some low ones. But overall, this is not a bad area. This is great for if you've played the game like once or twice and you want to get back into it, especially with 1.0. you definitely want to visit this area because there are plenty of stuff to build over here and it's great for our base. Now this whole area is located in the northwest area of the map. You can spawn right into here so you don't have to worry about that going from the main menu. And it's a pretty good area and fun to have. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to spot number 7, the Northern Forest. This one is definitely a 4 out of 5. Reason being is it has some of the highest tier stuff, so you will get a lot of pure nodes in this location. It's really close to a lot of things, so you have a lot of good iron, copper, limestone, and caterium is in here as well. Plenty of sulfur, plenty of coal. You are really close to a lot of different things. This area is really good. Oil, not too bad. You just head north all the way up into that previous location that I showed you. But other than that, everything is good. The downside, it is cramped. There is a lot of trees in your way. But that doesn't mean that they, have to stay there because at last there are chainsaws and explosives available. Now, this is located in relatively the north center of the map because it is the Northern Forest, and it is this big curved part right here. Easiest way to get in there is when you start the game, you can choose Northern Forest and you will be plopped right in this area. This is a great map for people that really want to go above and beyond when they're building stuff like that and can build vertically instead of horizontally across the landscape. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to spot number 8, one of my personal favorites. That is right, the Bamboo Forest. If you can build in here, you are going to have a great time because it is gorgeous. Now, pros and cons on this one. It is definitely a 3 out of 5 because everything looks great around here and you can build some amazing bases, though it is like some of those previous locations where you kind of have to build everything in yourself. There's not a lot of wiggle room in terms of resources in this area. And you're going to have a difficult time getting a lot of stuff up here because it is one of the highest points on the map for the regular landmass. Though it has plenty of water and plenty of space to work with, and it also looks amazing, so you do have a lot of things going for you as well. If you can get the stuff up here, you can build a big base. Maybe like a later tier base or something like that, but this is definitely a unique location. If you played the main 4 locations all the time and you want to start something new, this is the place that you would want to build. Now, the enemies over here are really high tier enemies, so you're going to be fighting for your life, but if you can make it work, it has everything that you need. And unlike the swamp, it is looking gorgeous and you can see everywhere around. Now, I saved the best 2 for last because this one right here, this is my personal favorite. This is the Golden Coast. I give this one a 4 out of 5. And the reason being is the enemies over here aren't that bad. The amount of space that you have is ginormous. There's plenty of water to work on whatever you need. And in terms of items, a lot of stuff is pure. So the resources are pure. It has oil, it has coal, it has bauxite, it has almost every single thing that you need. Now, in terms of the downside, it will be difficult getting uranium over here in case you want to go to the nuclear stuff. But other than that, it's not really that bad. Most of the enemies over here are easy to defeat. There's nothing in your way, and it looks gorgeous. This is one of those areas that you would have to walk over to and figure out what you want to build over here. And it does take a little bit to build some of the stuff over here, but overall, it's not too bad. Now, there's 2 ways of getting over here, and as you can see from right now, that is our rocky desert right there. So what you can do is you can spawn in the rocky desert and go completely south, keeping towards the west side of the map, and that'll keep you over here just fine. Or if you want to, you can spawn over here in the Grassy Fields and just make your way northwest. That'll get you over here as well. But like I say, this is one of my favorite locations to build in the entire map, and if you see me build, it's gonna be right here. Yes, and welcome to the final one, number 10, and I saved the best for last because This one is by far the best place to build. I like to call this area the Nexus because it has pure nodes galore. It has space. The enemies aren't too difficult. It's in between 2 to 3 main biomes that you can actually deal with. It starts you off in the northern forest. You come over here and you're able to get all the pure nodes that you could possibly want. The only one that's really difficult to get is going to be the bauxite, but trust me, when you can get everything else in a one good location, that is going to be the least of your concerns. You have plenty of water, you even have uranium, it looks gorgeous, and there's plenty of space to build. I give this one a 5 out of 5. This is the best spot in the map to build, and so many people have built here because it is just that good. Now, if we check on the map, this location right here is this area right here. You have the rocky desert right over here for resources. You have the northern forest, which has a lot of pure nodes, oh my god, for resources. You have this crater lake over here that has a lot of good coal that you can bring down. It's really close to, what do you want to call this stuff, the bamboo forest, where you can get your bauxite, and if you want to, you can grab the oil from over here to build yourself some coal, or it's not coal power, fuel power. This is by far the best location. It starts you up right on this corner, and yes, this could be considered northern forest because you're so close, but I feel like this one location right here is completely different in so many different ways. You could be building over here. There's a great location that a lot of people build over here for the northern forest, but this one right here is top tier. This is the best place. So if you want a really good place to build, this is going to be it for you. But I recommend choosing which one you like based on the information that you've seen, because a lot of people choose different locations for different reasons, whether it be the resources, whether it be the amount of space you can build, whether it be for the fact that it looks amazing. Because granted, there are a lot of great places that look awesome, and though it may take a little bit of extra work, it's still worth it to put in to build something amazing. Alright, well, that's been all the places I've mentioned and whatnot. If you like the video, don't forget to like it, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think your favorite place is, or where you're going to be building in Update 1. And ooh, that kind of just changes color a lot. That looks pretty. But other than that, that's going to be it. Did I go over my time? I won't know until I edit the video, but you'll know right away. So you'll feel free to leave me a comment saying that I went over the 10 minutes and then I suck. That'll be perfect. Do it. Do it. I want to see those. Everybody, come on. Get down in that comment section and let me know. Other than that, everybody have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the game. Like, I'll be in your game, hidden somewhere. Come find me.